Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music. And today we're going to talk about a trick to create dissonant counterpoint. Let's take a look. So why would a person want to create dissonant counterpoint? Well, sometimes you just don't want things to be lovely in a sort of a diatonic way. And creating dissonant counterpoint can be difficult. Counterpoint, as it's taught in school, is really kind of a collection of rules. Rules about the way the chords move, about the way tonics and dominants relate, about the scale that the melody exists in. All those rules create beautiful, sonorous harmonies, but kind of conventional harmonies. And if we want to step outside of a conventional harmony, we have to come up with our own rules. Now, you can probably think of some for yourself, but here's an interesting one, and it comes out of a simple idea. What if you write a mirror image of the melody? Well, what might that look like? Let's take a look. So if I was going to play a C scale, I'd go whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Easy peasy. But check this out. What if there was a mirror image to that? In other words, what if I started on C and went down from there? Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. I've basically just played an inversion of the major scale. I'll do it just live. Now, I don't know about you, but my ear hears that as a coherent idea, which is at the same time dissonant. Dissonant counterpoint. Well, it suggests something to me, which is this. What if I set up an axis around which my melody is going to be mirrored? I'm just drawing in some orange lines here, and we're not going to hear those notes. But here's our melody, which will be familiar to you. And here's our reflection of that melody. It's a very strong, pretty coherent harmony, and yet it doesn't suggest chordal motion at all. The melody was a mirror image. When the original melody went up a fifth, the harmony went down a fifth. Up a step, down a step. You can see it's quite clear. It makes a symmetrical shape, top and bottom. Well, depending on where you put the axis of symmetry, you'll get a different result. Here, I move the axis of symmetry up a step. The original melody, C, C, G, G, is going to be reflected by E, E, A, A, because the original melody starts a step below the axis, so the harmony begins a step above. As I continue to move the axis up, I get different results. They flipped there. Did you hear it at the end? Now the axis is at the tritone above the initial note of the melody. And as a result, we get a very strong, slightly different looking shape. I like that one a lot. What if I put the axis below the melody? That's a tritone below. All those give me really interesting results. Now, because I like to think about every possible case, it occurred to me we should take a look at this special case. What if the axis isn't a straight line, but moves every so often? So I tested that. I'm going to keep my melody, and now my axis is going to be traveling up. Let's just take a look at just the axis. The axis goes up in whole steps. In other words, for the first half of the measure, the axis is C, and then it changes. Now, of course, the melody remains the same, but the reflection of the melody is going to go into some pretty wild places. It winds up quite high. Now, I think that this isn't for everyone, and it's kind of a mathematical or academic or scientific idea. But it's true that we can make music a lot of different ways. It doesn't just have to be intuitive or deeply seated in a cultural tradition. It can come out of inquiry. And for many composers, their music comes out of the question, what if? So what if the beautiful melody that you wrote needs dissonant counterpoint, and you want to come up with a system that is going to create a dissonance that somehow sounds logical? Vector symmetry is a great way to create dissonant harmony. Stay tuned to this channel. Coming up in the holiday season, I'm going to have a challenge for you. I've partnered with Martin Heidenreich to create a challenge for our subscribers. I'm not going to say exactly what it is yet, but Martin's got a great channel and he's well worth following. I'll link below. We'll talk about it more next time. Meanwhile, I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe. If you hit the bell, you'll be notified when I post. I'll see you next time.